Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another episode of Magic Duels Auto Complete, the series where you choose the card, we put it into a deck, and then hit Auto Complete. So, for this week, you had two cards that won. This is the second video, and for this one, it is Start Your Engines! Okay, it wasn't that great, but anyways. So, it's Start Your Engines. Sorcery for 4 mana. Vehicles you control become artifact creatures till end of turn. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. So, it's definitely a finisher. And that's probably something we needed. Okay, so, with that said, if you want to vote on next week's deck, poll is listed down in the description. Go check that out and make your voice heard. And if you also want to make your voice heard, that's what the comments are for. If you want to put a card on, nominate something for next week's poll, then feel free to do so down in the description. If you're new around here, we do this kind of craziness every single week, so there you go. Feel free to subscribe. All right, let's get into some games with some autocomplete. See you there. All right, we're against the rank 30 Fish Alien. They're on the play. Again. Okay, so we have Cinder Barons, a bunch of lands, Blood Rage Brawler, Copter, Graph Harvest. Okay. It's got some action. It's got some stuff going on. They've got Mill because Brain shuts off with Mill, right? Right. Well, I also have Carry Sev. Things are starting to look up here. Okay. So I'm tempted, maybe Blood Rage Brawler slightly later, that kind of thing. Don't know what they're up to quite yet. They have done nothing and forgot to pass. They have a play. There we go. We have multiple Blood Rage Brawlers. This might turn into some mean stuff for them. Alright. There might be a censor. There's not. It doesn't matter. Gonna be telling time, of course. Telling time. Well, you find out what you absolutely need. You do that. Got what you need now? You good? You happy? A little worried that tutelage deck, with this intensity of red, so it seems, might hurt. Looks a river shrine. Pardon me? Luxa Rivershine, ladies and gentlemen. We're against life gain. Okay, fine. Suppose we can do this. That leaves up Lightning Axe, and Karizev looks good enough. Although this does follow up nicely next turn. So we'll throw this out. And we're going to get rid of Graph Harvest because it's a pile of trash, and we don't need it here. And we'll send. Hopefully find some cool stuff. Right? Right. So let's take a look. What do we end up with? One more mountain. Sounds fine. We got rid of everything. Alright, that's leaving a nice dent for next turn, if they don't deal with it quickly. Karisev is also quite a pain to deal with, of course, so there is that. We have some black mana suddenly. So, Grixis Chandra. Okay, Chandra. And ticking up Chandra for some red mana. Okay, and that's a cut. Alright, I see how it is. So, I'm thinking, what? A Grixis control. This is used to spend some energy on things. Karizev's expertise is interesting. And I think I might want to go a different route with things here. So, we're gonna... Well, if there's a languish in our future, things get rough. We have to deal with that because he ticked up. Ugh. Let's go this route. I'm going to go Karizev. And we'll crew the copter, and we're going to see if something else comes up as an option. Expertise is interesting for situations like maybe something big comes along, who knows. So we'll see what happens. And it's start your engines. That could work. How do we want to go about this? I'm going to pitch Lightning Axe. So I don't think that's where we want. And Blood Rage Brawler is going to have to come down. Anyway, I'm going to say they don't have creatures. How about that? Although it is quite a blowout on its own, isn't it? Do it. See if they can deal. We'll see if they can deal. Just throw everything we got. I mean, we got cards giving us discard like crazy here, so there's that. What have you, opponent? And Chandra ticks up. It's gonna have a Dread Wanderer. Okay, this is not exactly what I thought. It's gonna let that go, which is good for us. Oath. Okay. How do I want to deal with the Oath? I think we're still okay just pitching Blood Rage here. Yeah, we'll go with that. What's it cost to, Okay, he gains a life if he invests a mana. That's something. Neheb is interesting. I might have kept a Blood Rage Brawler around if that were the case. Alright, well, it's going to be a start your engines. And we'll send in the beats. Here you go, and 5 over that way. Do you have an answer? I just realized that is a spell mastery situation, so he might actually have something to kill that Karizev. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, he does. He does. Wonderful. Alternative options? Drone of the God Pharaoh. Not quite. We're going to need Neheb. We still get a chunk out of him. Put him down to 10. That's also good. Alright. So he didn't want to get rid of Copter. Because he wanted to protect his Chandra. So that's where his loyalties lie right now. Fatal Push. Okay. Hieroglyphic Illumination tapped down. Something to keep in mind. Land drop and it's blue. Another Smuggler's Copter. We need one at a time for the most part. We're gonna slam down the Heb. And at this point I'm wondering... do we continue to go for face? Because if he fails to find the answer, I think that we do. Like, if he slows down in any way, we do. Liliana's Elite, that turns into a 4-4. Smuggler's Copter, off you go. It'll be a 5-5. Really? You have something? Or are you going to just gain the life? It's a gain 2 life if he's got 3 or more counters. Alright, well. That's something. Also, if Neheb sticks around, cards get discarded. So that's pretty good. That in mind, when we loot with Copter, we have to keep that in mind. So just, yeah. remember that. So if we look for something we want, it's got to be instant speed or something we're willing to discard anyway. So just it does get us to those points. Ticking up again. And he's got... I didn't even catch it. It's a renegade map. That's fine. That avoids 2 damage anyway. It's going to be another Fleshbag Marauder. Or another sacrifice ability anyway. So off that goes. Thelona Elite is going to be a little more potent. We're going to try to keep the pressure on his life total so that he has to think about that. And then if Chandra becomes some sort of issue, then we'll work that way. But we might be able to just simply race Chandra, depending. Keep the pressure on. Okay, so that's a loot target. We're not discarding. So let's get the elite down. Actually, he's tapped down. How do I really want to play this out? If he has a combo platter of any kind of burn spell in hand, then Liliana's Elite dies. So we're going to go this way and keep this in check. And we'll loot and Scrap Heap Scrounger. Okay. I mean, that's good. But I'm going to keep it in hand. We don't need many lands, clearly. Everything seems very low curve. So that's in check. We're still able to keep kind of a balance of pressure going around here. So do you have any more of those effects? Any more exile? That might be a fatal push effect there. Entirely possible. Chandra ticks up. Torrential Gear Hulk off the top. That's just shenanigans. Going for the fatal push. Going for the hieroglyphic illumination. Okay, so if we draw a creature next turn, things might get easier. Indeed they do. So here's how we're going to go with this. We're actually probably not going to go for the Wildfest Monitor. Although Scrap Heap is one of those things we can get back later. So yeah, maybe we should go this route. We'll get the Monitor down. And we'll crew. And we'll loot away Scrap Heap Scrounger. So he's thinking he's got a plan here. And so do we, anyway. So we're going to get rid of Chandra completely, and we're going to go for face. He's tapped down, so that's fine. Yes, we will loot, and we are getting rid of Scrounger. This makes this a 6/6 and something that he can't deal with easily. He's got to block it, right? Things are spiraling out of control. That'll put him down to 3 life, even though he's got the shrine here. There we go. That's where we want to sit. Okay. Okay, keep in mind, this has Menace, which can help. Any of his exile abilities will not assist him too much. Or his edict abilities, I should say, such as this, will not help. Combustible Gear Hulk. What are the odds? Let's play the game! No. Haha! No language for you! Also, we're still okay for health. That's interesting. That gives us some sort of extra options. I think we should definitely go this route and see what we come up with. And it's a Foundry of the Consoles. We'll just play that then. And that gives us some crew potential here. Yeah, that's crew potential here. So we'll do that. We'll crew this way. And I'm wondering about the Liliana's Elite, if we're going to draw a creature card. Because if we do, it's a great situation. If we don't, it fails horribly. But he has to block the Liliana's Elite. Either way. Or we can just send in these two, and then decide from there. Also, you get Menace. Alright. And it was a land, so proper choice. Off you go. So that puts him down to 4. Makes it a very difficult thing for him to deal with as well. Also, we have to keep in mind ribbons. We must keep in mind ribbons. Just letting it go. So he's going to go with the ribbons plan. How much mana does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If he draws one more land, that's a drain for 6. So we have to block here. Must be done. Of course, if he plays anything, then he doesn't get the kill. It has to be exactly we don't block and exactly the full mana. In order for ribbons to work and that. He can gain the life all he wants, it's not going to be enough. He may not have drawn the land. Of course, if he's got 2 burn spells, that's entirely possible as well. It's not going to be the case. Telling time is going to be the frantic answer. So let's see what he comes up with. We already know that 1 languish is gone. He's got plenty of removal in many cases. I mean, it's very clear that he's very heavy removal here. And looks like he's playing the Grixis Gear Hulks. And that means that also he cannot cast the Black Gear Hulk at this time. Yaheni's expertise is indeed his answer at this time. And an Unburden. Which we don't care about because we've got a land in hand. So that's fine. Makes this a 5/5/8/8, whatever. Okay, so. Challenging, yes. We're going to pause, thank you. We're going to do Scrap Heap. If we draw a land, we can use Foundry to crew Copter. If we draw a creature, we can use that. If we draw... Son of a... Seriously? And then we're matched to 6/6 again because 2 creatures left the graveyard. Ah. Do we start running the risk? Do we start running the risk? I mean, it's good hedge right now. You know what? Let's gamble. Let's have some fun. Never mind, let's do nothing. Let's do nothing. I mean, that was a simple, we're doing nothing this turn, so be it. And this shrine is now active, and it has gained him a little bit. It's gained him 3 life. Let's face it, it's gained him 3 life. Getting a little challenging. We can keep fueling the Liliana's Elite, but I don't know. I don't know. Opponent is definitely in the think tank. for quite some time. He's going to tap down the shrine. Okay, gain some life. Gotta reach Sanitarium. He is searching heavily. Of course, this is the option for us to get a creature card in the graveyard. And indeed it is a scrap heap. Nice. That a rags to riches? Yep. How much did that cost? 7? 7. So, we gotta really start beating on him somehow here. Somehow. It's going in turtle mode. I'm not sure if I want to pull that creature out yet. This is a good plan right here. Abbot of Carol Keep can lead into something else. And it's going to be a freaking Smoldering Marsh. Play this card. Come on! So, the first strike is a problem. I think that we might need to get into a situation where we just rush him hard. And if we're giving him anything, then it's going to be Scrap Heap, I think. Yeah. It's going to be Scrap Heap. I don't like this. It smells. It smells real bad. It's going to be a commit. Ew. Don't like that. Gonna be a Noxious Gearhulk game. Ah, son of a. Here, how about you use one of these instead? Also, this gets 2 creatures out of the graveyard. So he gains less out of it. But the Gearhulks are out. Nonetheless, they are out. And suddenly he's got a ton of life. A ton of life. Oh my goodness. I don't know if we've got a second game out of this. This guy is hanging in there so good that we can't do much about it. So we're going to do that. We're just going to hang in there. We've got Thopters to help. But we do need something. Avacyn's Judgment. How do we use Avacyn's Judgment? He's got this. Yes, he's got this. Which is the discard outlet we have, if anything. How do we deal with this, then? It's an either-or scenario, not really helping much. Because this thing's here one way or another. He could straight attack, and that could be one thing. I just don't know what to say, guys. This is a very, very tight situation. Like, we have to be able to block. So we can't cast Avacyn's Judgment, because then we don't have the Thopters to block, which means that we have to actually not do anything. And if he activates this, then we are in a good way. Because then we can fry this one. Double block. No, we can't double block. But it'll put us to 1, and then we're... I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of either or here. And very conditional stuff. Very conditional. Oh. It's going straight to attacks. Not good. Alright, well that means these are coming out. Because we have to block a certain amount. Do I feel like Noxious Gearhulk is going to have some... You know what? We're going this way. We're taking the gamble down to 1. Gotta do something. Feels like I like the only burn I've seen so far is, well, he's got ribbons, so what's it matter? We're dead. And he's got languish. Yeah. And there's the scrap heap again. We're dead. So screw you, hippie. I'm out. Goodbye. I am out. See you later. Okay, let's take a look at this deck and see what happened there, because it was going so well and then it just failed. Okay, so we got 2 Bomac Courier. Sure, sounds like it makes sense. 3 Graph Harvest. Goodbye. Get the hell out of my life. Okay. Okay, they're trash. They're complete trash. They should not be in here. 3 Lightning Axe. Whatever. We didn't see Madness cards. So, 1 Fiery Impulse. 1? Priorities. No Madness cards means you go this direction, not this. Oh, whatever. You need something to balance it. 2 Abbot of Carol Keep. Fine. They finally put the second one in for me. 2 Karisev. That's fine. 3 Blood Rage Brawler. Again, fine, sort of. I mean, we're discarding useless cards, but we shouldn't have to be discarding useless cards. 2 Scrap Heap Scrounger, 1 Heart of Chiron, 2 Smuggler's Copter, 1 Throne of the God Pharaoh. I honestly don't like the card. I know some people do for aggro, but I hate it. No. There's other cards for reach, and I'd rather use those. 1 Avacyn's Judgment, because we were going to get to that point. No, we didn't even have the discard when we needed it. We had it out at the beginning. This is the problem with these decks. You gotta provide some sort of card advantage to balance it out. You can't rely on your madness and your discard to line up. 3 Liliana's Elite. Don't get me started on this card. It got lucky because it was so late in the game. But any other time, no. 1 Olivia, 2 Nahab. Wow, this is starting to look hair like the other deck, only a slightly better version of garbage. 1 Wellfest Martyr. Really? This? This is... Sure, whatever. 1 Karizev's Expertise. You know what? When he started playing creatures, yeah, sure, why not? The 3 Start Your Engines, which... maybe we ran against the wrong deck. The deck was clearly geared well against this kind of stuff, and, you know, the deck doesn't understand the meaning of removal. Like, if these were 3 Fatal Pushes, let's ignore the fact that those were, like, you would gear this deck a little bit better and you would have said, fine, the deck's fine, but, you know, there's other things you can do. I don't know. There's many better options for many things. And Akum Hellkite, because landfall in red is a thing. Seriously? Too many. You see, here's the problem with Akum Hellkite. It's a conditional card. First condition, you need to have 6 mana. Second condition, you need to actually have lands past 6. So that's why it's useless. 1 Swamp. 6, 7, 8, 9 cards. I just want to. I want to count that now. 11 Mountains. 2 Smoldering Marsh. 2 Dragon Skull Summit. 3 Foundry of the Consuls. 1 Cradle of the Accursed. Great. 4 Cinder Barons. Okay, so that makes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 black sources to 9 black cards. See the problem? Yeah. Overestimated a little better, would you? Get rid of these stupid colorless land. It's just something to point in. The mana base was terrible. Although we did not experience the downside of it, it was still terrible. What a... I don't know what to say. This deck had a chance, but it fails on so many levels. It just, like, you cannot have this much discard and not expect someone to run out of gas without something to refuel it. Yeah, it's so bad for that. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed another deck that just failed to meet the mark and failed to get there all the way. So again, go feel free to vote on next week's card. We do actually have removal listed in the list if you want to see a deck that actually has some removal even though you have to force it. Alright, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.